That is because Real Madrid dropped points, and I told you they were going to drop points. Anyway, anywho, call me a witch doctor, call me a clairvoyant. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, Africa and the world. You are locked into Let's Argue, the only football show where we don't just watch the game, we dissect it, we investigate it, we interrogate it like a high-profile case at the Madanga Commission. Well, I'm your host, Lebza, a.k.a. the Mood Engineer, and tonight the desk is stacked. As you can see, to my left and right, or to my right and left, you know, I've got a man who can tell you the PPDA of any team in world football from memory. I'm talking about Real Madrid's finest, Timo.
Good evening, and let me tell you, some teams this weekend were pressing like Liverpool in 2019, while others were defending like Pirates in the last 10 minutes of a CAF game.
I am the man with more football data than Opta, WhoScored.com, and SofaScore combined. The football librarian, Roy.
Sanvanani, everybody. Yeah, man. What can I say? We ready? I've brought the books with me. As you guys heard that I'm the librarian. Just need glasses, even though it could be losing glasses. Yeah, so I brought the books with me. I brought the receipts and the embarrassment for certain managers as well. Elebza?
Well, let's not waste no time. Spain, England, Africa, Italy. We're touring the planet tonight, and we begin Lapa in Spain. And as we start with Spain, it was Valencia Levante. First, let me just give you the forms coming in so that when you listen, you must hear us properly where we are coming from. Valencia had a loss, a draw, and then a win, right? So poor but stabilizing. Levante came into the match. It was a loss, and a draw. So bottom form in the league, definitely. If you got so many L's, you know, and a D, definitely bad. Valencia had scored only 8 goals in their last 8 matches. So it means a goal a match. But however, Levante conceded 24 goals already this season. We haven't even played 20 games. Sure. So it's the second worst in the division. So obviously this match, guys, 1-0 to Valencia at home. So this was relegation football. You know what relegation football feels like. It's ugly. It's intense. It's desperate. Valencia fought for their lives, but Levante's ship just keeps sinking. Roy?
Yeah, and just to go into stats further into detail, Valencia's goal XG was 1.43 compared to Levante that was 0.62. So Levante have now gone 6 games without a win, and they sit right at the bottom, almost the last. They are sitting at number 19. Yeah. And this is their worst start since 2015. It's quite disappointing. How would you say, Thibaut?
Yeah, it's crazy, gents, because if you take a look very closely at Levante, listen, their press is broken. Their PPDA is 18.2, meaning that teams progress easily against them. Their block is passive. Listen, Valencia just exploited the half spaces and took what they could from this game. It was a relegation dogfight. It really wasn't pretty, but it was effective from the team from the Mestalla Stadium.
All right, Timo, please take us through the form of Barcelona versus Atletico.
Well, before the game, against Athletic Bilbao, Barcelona had won 3 games and lost 1. Obviously, that one game that they lost was against Real Madrid, but inconsistency, but still improving. Athletic Bilbao, on the other hand, they had a win, a draw, and a loss. They're sitting in 7th place. They've been very shaky, I think, the whole season. And Barcelona are unbeaten in 19 games at the so-called, can I say, homes, because Barcelona have been a would-be Skidlava team this season. But the Camp Nou is open. and they welcomed Athletic Bilbao back to the Camp Nou with a 4-0 drubbing.
How? Barca at the renovated Camp Nou, it's theatre, and Bilbao forgot all their lines.
I'm telling you, it was crazy. From a tactical standpoint, this was flick ball at its very cleanest. It was a high pressing game. There was a lot of verticality. The wingers were inverted. Bilbao gave up 3 big chances before halftime, and I think they were lucky to not have conceded more goals. Overall, this Barcelona team, they put on a very professional performance against this Bilbao side, and kudos to Hansi Flick for getting his charges focused and firing on all cylinders on the eve of the Champions League.
Yeah, and just to go further into detail, based on from a stats point of view, Barcelona's goal XG was 3.02, of which Athletics goal XG was 0.28. You guys can see that there's a clear difference over there. Nico Williams, he only completed one dribble, while Lamine Yamal had 4 key passes and 7 successful duels. So remember, like on Friday when we spoke about it's Lamin versus Nico, and Yamin proved to be the better man on that day.
I'm telling you, there was a video I watched during the week of, Zinedine Zidane passing the ball, with the outside of his foot, just like that, wearing that soccer boot that Thibaut loves so much. And that's what Lamine did, man. He just did this, and it landed right at the person. Obviously inspired by Zinedine, but executed in Barcelona. What can we say? Roy, can you take us through the form of Betis and Girona?
So that game actually took place on Sunday. The form for Betis, they had 2 wins and a draw coming into that game, while Girona had 2 losses and 1 draw. They showed basically a downward trend, while Betis is obviously missing Isco. And just to add on, he basically renewed until 2028. So they really need that guy.
Oh yeah, a draw right there at Betis Stadium. This was a missed chance for Betis, obviously, to stay in the Champions League race. So we'll have to see what happens. But with their form really being win-win draw, I'm sure they can get another win just to get back into the right form. A draw is bad. You missed 2 points, but I don't think it's that bad, right?
Yeah, so Betis basically they dominated in possession in that game. Um, if you look at it, they had 62% possession, while Girona had more shots on target. So they had 5 and Betis had 3 basically. So Girona have now failed to win in their last 5 straight matches, their longest streak since 2021. So yeah, that also shows that ball possession doesn't win you games.
One thing I will say, gents, is that this Real Betis side without Francisco Alacon, Betis, they really lose their creative leadership. Their progressive passes fell by 22%, and Girona defended deep, and it basically worked in their favor. But I think now that Isco is on the mend and he's training with the squad, if they can get him back within the team and hopefully playing games again, then I think this Betis side will be a real danger for all teams alike.
Oh yeah, as we get into Atletico Madrid's away win at Getafe, how they entered this match was simple. Atleti have had title contender form. It was win, draw, win, win. So Getafe though, it went from great, then it went to good, then it went to bad. So win, draw, loss. If they carry on the next one, it will be a walkover because then the other team will just take all the points. So hopefully Getafe tries to stop it right now. So Cholo's men, as we know them, ruthless, efficient, zero drama. He just makes sure that they collect points away. Roy?
Yeah, and then also just to add on to that, Athletics fourth away win in 5 matches. That is not a bad result, but it could be better. They're only 4 points off of Real Madrid right now, and this is the best defensive start in the last 6 years. Right? So,
Wow.
Thibaut, what do you think about their press conference? Sorry, the press
Well, look,
basically.
Van Roy, Atletico de Madrid's pressing game suffocated Getafe. The PPDA was insane at a whopping
Oh,
7.9. Getafe had no shots on target in the second half. I know Jorge Bordalas, likes to play a compact game, but they really need to be more expensive if they really want to maximize the talent that they have in this group. They really didn't look like they were even going to try and get level against this Atletico de Madrid side. So kudos to Cholo Simeone and his charges for going away to this other Madrid derby and getting the 3 points.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Timo, just carry on there and give us the form of the match that played last night.
Then the last game of Sunday, we saw Elche entertaining Real Madrid in a game that ended in a 2-2 scoreline. Real Madrid's form as of late has been leaving a lot to be desired. They have 2 draws, 1 win and 1 loss. Elche, on the other hand, they have managed to conjure up 2 wins and 1 draw from their last 3 games.
Yeah.
Giant Killers, I'm not sure about that just yet, but had it not been for the brilliance of Thibaut Courtois, I think Real Madrid would have succumbed to a heavy defeat. I think they were very lucky to get the 2 goals to bring them level in this game. Overall, I think Xabi Alonso was out of ideas. He started Vinicius Jr. again on the bench, and I think this is honestly just a recipe for disaster. Maybe he was told to do whatever he wants or given the reins to do as he pleases with this particular group. But I really don't think or feel that the gentleman is actually going to get the desired effect. Obviously, I could be wrong, and I hope that I am. I hope that going into this midweek clash against the Olympiacos, the charges will actually, follow through with what Xabi Alonso is trying to transmit. But so far, it's really not looking good.
Well, Roy, you heard
Hey,
we just
Leza.
wanted him to do Roy. We just
yeah,
wanted
bro.
him to do the form, but you can just see the depression from that match. Just made him become an explainer. He sounded like Steve Compella there, just going ahead
Yeah.
and rationalizing and using his big English to just,
Justify.
admit to losing what you call this thing 2 points there at Elche. But what I wanted to do first was just to explain to some of our guests. Maybe they're watching and we're using some terminology like PPDA. So I just want to explain to you. So PPDA, back then we used to just call it, what you call number of passes. But now, what if the passes are happening in your own area? So counting those are sometimes useless. So now we are counting passes in the opponent's defensive area. Basically, it stands for passes per defensive action, meaning it refers to how many passes a team allows the opposition to have from within 40 yards of their goal before they commit to a defensive action like chasing, tackling, or intercepting. So if it's a high PPDA, it means that team is not pressing. Just like Atleti had a 7.9. So you can imagine it means they had 7 passes go there before the other team intercepted. You understand? So it means that's why Thibaut said they were suffocating. So, but if a team has got 1.1, for example, PPDA, you understand? So it means that that other team is pressing out quickly. It's just one pass out. You understand? You can't get in. So just like it's what's going to happen to Chelsea tomorrow. They will not be able to pass a lot
Whoa!
outside the Barcelona 18 area. But you'll see Barcelona will probably be passing the whole time outside there before they even tackled. Anyway, yeah, we just wanted to make sure that we all are in the same page to our fans so they don't understand. And Thibaut, it suits you to complain when you are wearing a shirt of a lumberman today. All that's missing is your what you call your X right there on your shoulder,
Yeah.
and then you're wearing some thick ass Levi jeans that are worn by the knees, and your Timberland boots. I can just see you, man. I can just see you today.
Trip Chuluga.
I'm sure even your wife made you lunch today. But anyway, back to the Real Madrid and Elche match. Now, this match proves something important. Courtois is not a goalkeeper. He is a national treasure. Real
Mhm.
Madrid win because of Courtois. So,
That's
Roy,
very
what do you think?
that's very very true. I mean, that guy is, I think, is their savior.
Yeah,
They need to. I don't know. He needs to start his own religion of goalkeepers. That guy is just something special, man. You
yeah.
know. Yeah, and just to add on what you were talking about, based on PPDA, and I know a lot of people know goal XG, but just to add on to that match, Elche had an XG of 2.41, while Madrid's was significantly lower. Theirs were at 1.88. Madrid conceded 14 shots, meaning that they had Elche scoping that ball, like coming against Courtois as bullets, and that guy
Mm,
just saved them. Huh? It's like new
mhm.
in the Matrix, that guy.
Yeah,
So yeah, this was basically a clash between the highest versus the bottom.
yeah.
Okay, and yeah, that was actually a good match. Yeah, Elche could have won, but like you said, Thibaut Courtois is a national treasure
Roy,
for
Roy,
them.
let's just say it as it is. They were robbed. Real Madrid, that ref, Thibaut, I'm going to ask you in the next segment quickly to just also say that you robbed Elche because it was supposed to be 2-1 and it was supposed to be done. But anyway, let's hear you.
No, listen, I don't know about us robbing Elche. I don't know what game you were watching, but the game that I saw, Real Madrid have a few issues. Defensive transition, like number one, Dean Hoyson, when the Club World Cup started and he put on brilliant performances when the season began, he actually looked like a solid player. He actually looked like he deserved to be in the first 11. But as the weeks and the games have progressed, it looks like Raul Asensio is a way better defender than him.
Mm,
Maybe he's lost a bit of confidence because of the getting sent off over the last couple of games and so on and so forth. But just from a defensive standpoint, Raul Asensio, I think, looks a way better defender than Dean Hoyson. Now, obviously, maybe with time, the boy will develop and cement his place into this team. But in the here and now, I think he needs to show more personality and cut out the mistakes. In the
mm.
midfield, of course, again, for a player like or a coach like Xabi Alonso, who as a player he was a number 6, you would think he would try and get the formula correct. The midfield spacing I think is very, very, very incorrect. And I think Jude Bellingham has really lost the keys to this team, and they've given it to Arda Güler. And I'm not saying that Arda Güler is not excelling, but I just necessarily feel that Arda Güler really cannot connect with the rest of the team. The only thing he's really excelling at is passing the ball to Kylian Mbappe. And Camavinga is definitely missed. I don't care what the reasons were for Camavinga to start on the bench. I think as long as Eduardo Camavinga is fit, they need to ensure that he's one of the first names on the team. Elche protected half of their spaces brilliantly, and they forced Real Madrid to go wide. They forced Real
And
Madrid
why
to work.
they suck? Why they suck? Oh man, this is so great, man. But Timo, do you remember that on the Friday I did say watch out for drop points on Madrid, and you said no.
Yeah. There are a couple of
You
calls. There are a
said
couple of calls that I think we both got right, because I feel like I also should have put money on the Manchester City game.
yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I
they
remember I said it.
You see.
I said there will
no
be an upset.
no that was the upset. But you know what? With City, obviously, when we get
Yeah,
to it, we'll
I
speak
found
about it. But we'll
we
speak to
actually
it.
should
But
have put money on the
I don't
Yeah,
think we are convinced on the
we should have put
Renaissance.
money on those games, right?
No, I don't think we are convinced on the Renaissance yet with City. But let's move on to the EPL. To all our EPL fans, welcome, welcome, welcome. Now we get into EPL and we start with
Van Roy. You can take the movie sale out of the account, the movie sale out of. Hey, Mama,
Yeah,
hey!
Nia.
What's going on?
What is it frozen
what
on my
what what
side?
what?
Van Roy, talk to your man.
Yeah,
Hey, Lebza,
Wait, is
is
my
it
network
frozen?
bad?
are
Is
you
it
back? Are
frozen
you
on my side?
back?
Ah, man, it doesn't look frozen this side. But let me dial in on two things so that
Lebza, you can't be in London and using a movie sale in London. Don't do
no,
that,
no,
Charlie.
I'm borrowing their network. I'm borrowing their network, dog. Let me do this.
Can
Let
you,
me enter on two sides. I'm gonna
In
enter
the
can you
on.
meantime,
get?
Yeah. Wait. Just to make sure I mute them.
yeah, hey.
Oh, did you boot out the other one?
They return.
Ambuyile now. And look at the clear picture on my iPhone.
I don't
Man,
know,
it
I've already
shows
put it out.
everything. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah. So, what I was saying
Exactly.
was, as I was saying, we'll get to the City game, right? But obviously, I'm not convinced about City's renaissance yet. Yabona. That renaissance we're still going to talk about. But for now, let's get into the pre-season champions. Or what were they called? Club
Well,
World
yeah.
Champions, whatever that cup was, because every Chelsea fan is just so highly excited for that cup. I have a friend who's a Chelsea supporter. I didn't tell him I was in London, but I took a picture on the when I was somewhere here in London and I posted it as one of my pictures statuses. Oh, he just report like, oh man, you are in the land of the champions. I'm like, oh, these Chelsea fans, man. These Chelsea fans are everywhere. So anyway,
Everywhere.
how they came in into this away match with Burnley? They came in with a win-draw-win. You know, a solid run. Chelsea are definitely climbing up the table, currently second. But the team that they were playing against. Come on, you'd expect a win from Chelsea. They've come with a lose, win, lose form, so that's really, really bad. So Chelsea, according to this form that they're currently on, are playing like champions again, right? Champions of what? FA Cup, League Cup, or Preseason Cup, but champions none the matter. So they look structured, they look confident, and definitely look clinical, especially when they have their midfielders playing well. There's that kid Santos who took over. What's the guy's name? In the middle of the park, Caicedo, who wasn't available. He also played
Yeah.
beautifully with Enzo, who's got the name of the coach. So obviously the World Cup is coming soon. You'll see all the Argentina players are going to lift up their play. Even McAllister at Liverpool is going to lift up his play so that he can obviously get a shot. But hey, let's hear from you, Roy. How did you find this match?
So it was a very, very scintillating match. Both teams played well, but in the end, we knew that Chelsea is going to win this match. It was only a matter of time, and
Mm,
of which they had most ball possession. If you look at it, they had 71% ball possession. Chelsea had 9 shots on target. That's quite a lot, and
mm-hmm,
they outpassed their opponents like nobody's business. And this was only in the first half, which they managed
mm-hmm,
basically to register 480 passes in the
mm.
opposition half. And that
Yeah,
is quite crazy, meaning that
yeah.
they would lose the ball in Burnley's half, then win it back in their own half and just play there around them.
Mm,
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Burnley only had 2 shots on target for that game, and
yeah,
that's also, yeah, that's quite a
yeah.
concern. I mean, if you're going to try and win a match, you're gonna have to try and shoot as many balls into that goalpost as possible, and they only had 2 on target, which is, yeah, the press was basically, yeah, it's easy to
Yeah.
bypass. What do you
I'm
think
sh-
about the press?
sorry, before Timo answers, I'm sure Courtois would dream of a match like this. Only 2 shots on target to save.
Yeah,
But with
you'll be
his bad
certain.
defense, he has to save 24 on target. Timo.
Yeah, no, Chance. I think we're also being unfair. I think we should actually give kudos to Burnley for only conceding 2 goals because Chelsea were in a rampaging mood. They should have scored way more goals than what we actually saw on the scoreline. Burnley's press was way too easy to bypass. Chelsea's triangles in the midfield were something to marvel at. Everything looked so automated. They really look good. And this Santos boy, I was very surprised last season when he was loaned out in League On, but he's come back now, and I think in the absence of Moises Caicedo, I think he's shown himself to be a would-be lead player. But obviously, time will tell, and he will need more games under his belt. But overall, I think this Chelsea team they walked over this Burnley side. The score line should have reflected more of what they were doing on the pitch, and they will take this with all the confidence heading into the Champions League clash against Barcelona.
You had to mention the best team in the world. Roy, can you take us through the form of the Liverpool and Nottingham there?
Let me cry first. Yeah, I wish I had. I wish I had losing glasses, ne?
Yeah.
Just to cover, like just like this. Yeah, so their form is quite bad. So the match against Nottingham Forest, my team conceded 3 goals. We didn't manage to respond even with one consolation goal. So that match ended in a 3-0, of which Liverpool's form coming into that game is basically imploding. We have 3 losses and 1 win. It's in the last
Mm,
four, while Forest has 2 wins and a draw in the last three. So that really shows they were the better side.
You know what? Forrest walked into Enfield and said, "Switch off the lights." Incredible.
Yeah, near. And Liverpool conceded three or more goals in back-to-back games, basically at home, for the first time since 1963. So
Yeah.
they just giving it away, man. And
Mm,
Enfield
mm,
was a
mm.
fortress, and now it's like anybody can just come there, do whatever they want, and just leave. It's like so for us, counter pressing efficiency was very, very high. It was one of the highest this weekend that we actually seen. It sits at 68%
Yeah.
overall. It's the highest that we have seen
Mm,
in EPL over this weekend.
mm.
Yeah, well,
Hey, Steve.
you know what, Nefan Roy, I think it's easy to say that the slot ball needs rhythm, that they have none, that the players look drained and they're positionally uncertain. I think we should start asking the hard question in the preseason. I don't know, man. I think anybody can be forgiven for expecting maybe a better performance. They don't even look like they have an identity, and I don't know what's wrong with maybe going back to basics because uh, this team they look way better when they playing without Mo Salah in the first 11.
100%.
So I
Mm,
think I think if there's one thing that maybe Arne Slot needs to do now is to try and salvage the season because I
mm.
think things are really sinking and they are sinking fast.
Fast. Yeah,
But
just to
now
add
tell
on
me,
to that,
yeah,
sorry, ne, Lebza.
yeah.
Just to add on to that, ne, you are 100% correct, Ibo. I think they should drop Salah. If you look at it, we're playing Champions League football again on Wednesday. And if you look at the team selection that we had last time that we played, we beat Frankfurt 5-1. And Salah was not involved. And if you look at how the team was structured, even the formation was different and it worked. I really don't know. I think Salah really needs to sit. He needs to focus on selling mats, and that's it.
Well, you know what? For me,
Yeah,
with
but you know
Liverpool,
what, Van Roy? You know what, Van
yeah.
Roy?
Yeah.
No, I think Tibo, you've
No, I
got the
was just
Mobi
saying,
cell now. You've got the
I
Yeah.
Mobi
think
cell now, Tibo. Tibo, your Mobi cell is on now. Like your Mobi cell just took over,
Askis,
bruh.
Hey, my man, you said it's on. Can you hear me
Yeah.
now? No, check
No,
it
we
out.
can
You know
hear
what,
you.
man? I think we must also give Mohamed Salah the respect that he deserves. I think he's been a stalwart for the team, and he's done everything to show and prove that he deserves a first team place. But just taking into account what this Arne Slot is trying to do, it looks like he's trying to like, I don't know, maybe create a new side that can continue this winning form that this team found themselves in last year. And I think, again, hard decisions need to be made now. These guys just they need to be honest about the current situation that they find themselves in. It's time for Salah to be dropped.
But
100%.
now you drop Salah. Who do you put in when this guy from Newcastle is not scoring any goals? When even Itikite, his golden shoes have now, stopped shining now. So who do you put in, bruh? Because also with Salah,
Okay.
look, also with Salah, he's like a Cristiano Ronaldo in a sense. There's times where Cristiano Ronaldo maybe would miss 4 games, right, in terms of scoring. And then when he comes back, he's going to come back and score in 10 games going. Do you understand? So Salah is also waiting for that. He's waiting for it's gonna happen, and sometimes you don't want to take him out, and then it never happens. And also with your new kids on the block, like your that guy from Newcastle, he's also just waiting for that one thing to click, and then it's gonna happen. But the problem is what Thibaut spoke about now earlier when you said slot ball needs rhythm. They don't have a killer midfield. They don't have a killer midfield that supplies these guys. For example, let Liverpool buy a De Jong or buy a Pedri. That guy scores all the time. Do you understand? That guy scores all the time because then there'll be clever balls coming in. Right now, who's supplying? Gravenberg. Who's supplying, bruv?
Lebza.
Mm,
Lebza, Lebza, ne? Minus Trent Alexander, ne? They have the same squad from last year, the same squad that won the league from last year. And yes, definitely. If maybe they try to let's say drop Mohamed Salah and maybe put someone else, and maybe not Alexander Isak, because I think Ugo Iketike is the better number 9 for Liverpool, but they still have the same squad. So you can't say that they don't have the midfield generals or the people in the middle of the pitch to create the opportunities for the team. I think the issue is that they're preparing for the future, and but the manner in which Arne Slot is executing it, I think, is very wrong. At the beginning of the season, he dropped the stalwarts or the guys who won him the league last year to make room for Florian Wirtz. Now, I'm not saying Florian Wirtz is not supposed to play, because the money that they spent means that he needs to walk into the first 11. But if you're going
mm,
to sacrifice Salah, you can play Wirtz on the right side, because we've seen him in Germany playing on the right wing. And then
mm,
everywhere else on the pitch, you can continue as is. You had a double pivot last year where you had McAllister, you had Gravenberch, and you had Soboslai. This season, you're seeing Soboslai playing at right back. What's going on?
Yeah, no, I agree with you guys, but they have options, man. I think, you know what, give other people a chance, man. Even if,
It's
ne?
over. It's over.
Yeah, in terms
mm,
of in terms of gunning for the title, ne, it's over. For me, ne, it's over. But then I think
mm.
give other people a chance as well, man.
It's over for
Wow.
Slot.
I know, Roy. It's hard to see you give up
It is.
so early. I was hoping Thibaut would also do the same because La Liga's already gone. But Thibaut is those people that will hold on until the last day. And then
Yeah,
he wants his heartbreak to take longer. He wants
yeah,
it to be very long until last day of the season. Barca wins it. And all he was doing what Arsenal does, hold the top for us. You know?
yeah,
So, so speaking about Arsenal holding the top, you know what? We gave two teams, your team Roy and my team in City, gave Arsenal a break. Do you understand? And Arsenal
Um,
did not drop points. All they did was open up the top. So Newcastle took on Man City at Newcastle Stadium, and we know it went 2-1 for Newcastle. Um, they came into
What
this
was
game,
that?
Newcastle won the game, and they came into this game with
Oh.
two wins and a draw in terms of their form, while City came in with two wins and a loss. But City, from the way they've been playing in other competitions and for the way that their striker has also been playing in the World Cup qualifiers, even though they play against Andorra, Moldova, Georgia, Liechtenstein, obviously, you know,
Lithuania.
Lithuania, Gibraltar, you know. So obviously there's a bit of confidence that's going on in the City ranks. However, there's something called grit, and that's what Newcastle have. You have players like Barnes, do you
yeah.
understand, who will run until the grass has a double up to show that there's a person that was running here, you know? So Harvey Barnes curled one that had Pep seeing stars, and not stars is in Hollywood stars, the stars in the galaxy. Roy, how did you find it?
Yeah, and Pep even got angry. I saw a run in with one of the camera guys, and I was like, yo, this guy is really angry. I think he expected his team to win, of which, yeah, City dominated basically. They had a higher goal XG. They had a goal XG of 1.89, of which Newcastle only had 1.12. Okay. Although Newcastle had better moments during that game, and City have now lost three in their last five away games. So on the road, they prove to be very susceptible to loss. Yeah, we'll see what happens going forward. So Thibaut, what do you think about City's middle block?
Yeah, I don't know, man. That middle block looks very, very weak. Rodri was very isolated. I think the player that stole the Ballon d'Or and the player that returned from injury, they're worlds apart. I don't know if maybe Rodri needs like maybe 30 games or a season or something just to get those games under his belt so he can maybe try and replicate the form that he showed before he got injured. But definitely in this game, he was very isolated. He couldn't impose his will on the game. Newcastle exploited all the chances at every single moment that they got, and I think this was a great game for the neutral.
You know what? I think Pep is trusting Rodri too quickly to go back and become a hero in that
Yeah,
position.
Mm.
And you know what? In
yeah.
sports, all sports, guys, whether it's rugby, soccer, basketball, tennis, there are certain injuries that can ruin how a player plays. You know, the Achilles is bad for basketball players, because then how you going to jump next time, So usually when they come back, it's weird. Hence, your Kevin Durant coming back from that and then still becoming a beast and even getting better is a surprise. Even in soccer, there are some players that come back from that and still become better. But Rodri is like Beyonce from Liverpool. What's his name? Um, that
Van
guy.
Dijk.
Van Dijk. Because Van Dijk, when he came back from injury, he also lost a bit of his Van Dijkness. You know? Yes, Tibo, you can say last year's squad is still the same squad of Liverpool, but last year was a weak EPL. A very weak EPL last year that we had. Imagine even an Italian team was part of the final of Champions League to show that EPL had no challenger to go challenge anyone. Do you understand? So
Yeah, yeah, Maralebza. Ne, we must be mindful of some of the things that we're saying because Liverpool, they did everything they could to win their games, and this is why they won the Premier League. Yes, maybe the opposition had a lot of injuries, they had a lot of problems, but at the end of the day, you need to take care of your own end. If you get the results on your end, then that should be fine, don't you think?
Mm, no, 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 definitely not true. So with all those factors obviously coming through, Liverpool ended up winning, right? But this season, what's happening is that the other teams have gone up because of Liverpool's great start from last year. Arsenal bought well. For the first time in years, Arsenal really bought well. City finally started to wake up, but they were still expecting Rodri to come back and take that position. So they didn't buy in Rodri's position. You understand? When they should have done a Chelsea and buy a Rodri for Rodri's
No,
position so that Rodri
no,
gets to
Lebza,
compete
but
with
they
the great
did.
Rodri. Who did they buy?
No, no, but Lebza, they did.
Who?
There's a
Reinders.
there's a Victor Reis, ne? I think he's on loan now. And then there's the Nico Gonzalez from Porto.
Ah,
Remember they signed him in January.
I know,
Ah,
but he's not. He's not. He's not a Rodri. He's not a Rodri. But they could
no,
have
he's
actually.
not
They could have
Rodri.
actually even
No,
called Ngolo Kante from Saudi Arabia if they really wanted
you're
someone who
absolutely
knows.
right. You're
Mm,
absolutely right. He's not a Rodri, ane, but he's a holding midfielder. You have Bernardo Silva. You have what's his name? What's his name? You have Phil Foden. You have all these playmakers. Just to keep it short and sweet, you have all these playmakers, and you don't have anybody doing the dirty jobs. He has this
mm.
Nico guy, but he wasn't playing it. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't make excuses for Pep, please.
Well, anyway, let's go to the Arsenal match. I'm sure the Gunners that are watching this are so happy that Liverpool is depressed, Real Madrid is depressed, Man City is depressed. Yeah, they're probably so happy. So, Arsenal in the derby won it 4-1 versus Spurs. Arsenal came into this with 3 wins and a draw in terms of their form, while Spurs came in with 2 losses and a draw. Is it time for Thomas Frank to get out of Spurs, or has reality hit in? Obviously, Eberechi Eze, my goodness. If there was a signing that hit the ground running, it's him. A hat trick in his first London derby. Is it because Spurs wanted him to and he chose Arsenal? So now he just wanted to write his name in the book and say, "This is why I signed for Arsenal." Boom. Anyway, the number 10 shirt. Is he the best England player right now, or is it still Harry Kane? Roy.
Yeah, so I think this boy has a very very good chance in getting to the top. Eze, I think he had a very very good game. It proved with the goals. It's not easy coming into a derby first time around and you just scoring a hat trick, and it was his first ever. So yeah, Arsenal had 19 shots on target. Sorry, 19 shots in total, of which 7 of them were on target, while Spurs only had a 38% possession. It's the lowest ever under Thomas Frank. And yeah, I just think that that guy, I don't know what, wherever he goes, it's like, oh, I don't know. I don't know what that guy does, but tactically looks like, yeah, it's a nightmare. So, Thibaut, what do you think about the tactics basically?
Yeah, I don't know about you, Roy, but I think Thomas Frank and Arne Slot go to the same golf club because Tottenham Hotspur tactically are broken. The high line with no pressure and the type of football that they're playing is actually very suicidal. But without being malicious, I think uh, Thomas Frank has definitely lost this dressing room. I think we've seen some scenes over the last couple of weeks, over the last couple of games, where the result maybe has not gone their way, where it looked like there was some discontent between him and his players. And we can see this from the manner in which these players are playing. And it's not like this Tottenham Hotspur side does not have quality. They have bags and bags of quality, but I think it all needs to be translated or transmitted on the pitch, and the results need to come. And if the results are
Mm,
not coming, then again, we really need to ask those serious questions.
mm.
Yeah, that's
Well, well, you know what, guys? It was a very interesting weekend of La Liga football and obviously also of the EPL. But from a CAF competition perspective, we start with Sundowns, who faced the team that eliminated Pirates. That was just a moment of that. Uh, that was just a moment of silence for you, Thibaut,
yeah.
there, just to say. Mhm. Then Sundowns beat them 3-1. Roy, Sundowns are built different, eh?
Yeah, they are really both different. It's like wherever they go, they just go there and dominate. They display their dominance. I'm just glad that they belong to us, Mzansi, and they are going out there and making us proud. So Sundowns basically have now won 13 of their last 15 KF home matches. Ne? That is a very, very good record. They average about 64% in ball possession and 16 shots on average. That is quite a lot, eh, Tibo?
Yeah, no, listen, yeah, it's not a game. Listen, this Mamelodi Sundowns side are a dream. They are a team to marvel. The structure that they played with, this 3-5-2 formation with intelligent rotations, this Lupopo side really could not cope with the pressure. And a 3-1 win at home, I think they'll be very happy with the result at the end, taking this result to the return leg.
Yeah, and what can we say? It has really been a roller coaster. In other news, we had Stellis as well. Stellis faced AS Ottawa, of which Stellis created 2.13 a goal XG. They should have scored more. What do you think about that, Tivo?
Yeah, I think Stellis they tried their very best, and I think they can take this one goal lead in the return leg, and hope that they'll be looking to maybe play on the counter attack because they definitely know that the opposition, when they are hosting them, they will attack and they will need to be able to absorb the pressure and maybe hit them on the break. Stellis have sacrificed the league campaign to try and progress in the CAF Confederations competition. It may be a smart move, but obviously, if it pays off in the end, and I think as South Africans, we just need to get behind this Stellis team and spur them on up until they cannot do anymore.
Well, we shall see. We
100%.
shall see. Another team that was there. Obviously, Chiefs was playing El Masri. They went down 2-1. I saw the mistake of the coach. He took out Tele right at the 80th or 70th minute around there. And once he took out Tele, he put someone else who was new, who didn't have the temperature of the game, and Tele tackles everywhere, and that's when they scored that goal. Chiefs weren't bad at all, but the lapses killed them, and that lapse at the end was the issue. Roy?
Yeah, it's true, and they have now lost 5 of their 7 away cave matches, which is quite a concern as well. While Sundowns is winning at home, they are going away and actually losing. Tibo, what do you think of their midfield?
Yeah, well, Chiefs' midfield got bypassed way too easily. They need stability. But, gentlemen, we also need to take into account that the Kaiser Chiefs have 8 first team players who are out because of injury. So, this definitely
Yeah.
affected the manner in which they set up their start.
Oh, thank you, Tibo. Speaking on our behalf, what happened? Are you going to church these days? Hmm? Like,
Hey, ah, ah.
hmm?
I'm not
Hey,
a
now,
hater like you, bro.
now
I'm
you're
not a
starting
hater
to
like you, bro.
now you're starting to read verses that are like, be nice to your fellow man. Eh,
Man.
look at you.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
oh maybe your wife invited you to prayer week. They're like, just come, home cell. Anyway, we're gonna go into your favorite league. And I think when we spoke on Friday about the Derby Della Nova, Derby Della
Yeah.
something. Yeah, yeah. You were
Derby
so
de Madonnina.
Dermatonina. Yeah, so
Yeah.
Serie A weekend. Florentina, Juventus. Roy, how does that one go?
So Fiorentina basically hosted Juve. That ended in a draw. Fiorentina had 19 shots, of which Juve only had 2 on target. Pioli is still on the edge. We're gonna see what's gonna happen going forward. Thibaut, what do you think of that build-up?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Juve's build-up is very basic. Luciano Spalletti needs time, but we're in a period in the season where he doesn't have time. Juventus are in the top half of the log, but Luciano Spalletti really needs to start getting the results now. Even if it means that now in the beginning they maybe grind those results out, because a team like Juventus should be challenging for top honors. And I think Luciano Spalletti understood this assignment when he signed on.
Yeah, that's true. Then we had Napoli and Atalanta. So that match ended in a 3-1 victory for Napoli. So they scored three with a goal GX of 2.84. Well, Atalanta was basically spiraling. They have now conceded a lot of goals. They actually lost five matches in the last six.
Yeah, it's crazy, eh? Especially when they come up across the defending champions, this Napoli side. I
Yeah.
mean, counter football, when it comes to transitions, then they're very, very deadly. And I think they will be very happy with this 3-1 victory against this Atalanta side.
And then we go to the Derby Maladononina. So, there are players, whether it's Pirates or Chiefs, whether it's the Manchester Derby, whether it's the Clasico, that
Yeah.
just love big games. So we love them, obviously, that they'll show up in big games, but then they disappear in smaller matches, you know? And that player for Milan is Rafael Leao. He loves big games, so he's gonna own it, you know, and definitely show off. And this is what he did in this match as AC Milan won 1-0 in this Milan derby. Roy?
Yeah, that was quite a match. Although Milan only had 38% in possession, but three big chances that they actually created, and obviously it ended up in a goal. So, Thibaut, what do you think about the lack of tempo on Inter side?
Yeah, Internazionale, they needed energy in the middle of the pitch. I think what they're doing now, it needs to be reinvigorated. I think
Yeah.
um, I think they need to explore different options, because they've been playing basically with the same system and the same tactics for the last 5 or 6 years now. And I think if they really want to go all the way, not only in the domestic campaign but also in Europe, they really need to find a way to spice things up. Inter Milan lacked tempo, as you said, Van Roy. Milan executed the transitions perfectly. They got three chances, and those chances were enough for them to seal the victory.
Yeah, man. And then we have Monday Night Football. It's today. It's Man United versus Everton. I just think that United is unbeaten in five, and Everton lost three of their last four matches. So United basically average a 2.1 goals per game at home under Amorim. So Thibaut, what do you think about their midfield dominance? Because I know that what's his name? Their captain plays in midfield.
Yeah, well, listen, the captain for me, he's a piece of shit, but that's neither here or there. I think the most important player for this Manchester United side is Carlos Enrique Casemiro, and the upturn in form on his end, I think, has helped Ruben Amorim shape the team into what it is now. I think what Amorim is doing is really something that needs to be commended. I know it's still very early, but to manage 5 games unbeaten with this Man United side, come taking into account where they've been, I think that's one thing that we really need to maybe raise our hands up and commend him on. Obviously, again, if we just get back to the game, if Manchester United can control the tempo, can control the midfield, then definitely this Everton side, I don't think will be able to withstand the pressure and the sheer aura of playing at the theatre of dreams. You have Matheus Cunha firing on all cylinders. You have Muemo also firing on all
Aish,
cylinders.
player.
It really looks like a tough prospect for the blue team from Merseyside.
No,
So
definitely,
Lebla,
definitely. So I'm also looking forward just to see how Amarin goes on. But what I like about him, he's keeping Manchester fans humble because they don't know what to expect. You know, will he win or will he lose? So I like that because it just allows them to quiet down a bit. Just like as Slot has done to Liverpool
Eish.
supporters. But they don't know what to expect. We as City fans, we also know, that next week we'll be wearing our tops. The next week we'll be like, I don't like light blue. Um, it's understandable. But when we look at PSL, where we don't shy away from wearing our team jerseys, whether you are in Joburg, Bloemfontein, or London, you find your team jersey. Where is it? Where is it?
I say,
You you
represent,
you
boys.
you you wear it everywhere. You wear it everywhere.
They must know
Doesn't
us. They must know
matter.
us.
Doesn't matter where you are. You don't go to the England people and show off with an England t-shirt that you
Never.
bought
Yeah,
at
yeah, yeah.
Buruma.
Yeah,
Eh?
Evan Roy, can you see he's
Yeah.
wearing a fake Nike shirt?
Look
Nike
at it.
stopped they stopped sponsoring Kaiser Chiefs because the Kaiser Chiefs fans they weren't buying originals.
No. So look, me, I love Nike. So my team might have moved to Kappa. I won't move with them. I'll just wear my old t-shirts until they come back.
Yeah.
I'll just wear my old t-shirts until Nike decides to come back.
I'm
You
back.
know how these big brands are. Look at what Adidas did. They ditched us. We started winning, and now they're like, "Oh, we're back now because you guys are winning games. We're back." So Nike will probably do the same if Chiefs just behaves and starts winning. I will have these t-shirts going on again. So at
Yeah,
least
yeah.
this is the one I need to wear when I walk around London and I'm busy greeting people. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? They'll think it's a Borussia Dortmund top because Borussia Dortmund is
Yeah.
sponsored by
Yeah.
Vodafone. So it
Vodafone,
looks
yeah.
exactly the same instead of Vodacom. Obviously, it's Vodafone, but exactly same colors. So they'll probably think I'm German. A Guten Tag. Guten Tag.
Let me
But
tell
anyway,
you,
mm,
Lebza, let me tell you, I think Adidas would do a better job, hey?
no, no, no.
With
We love
Kaiser
Nike.
Chiefs.
No.
I think Adidas would do an exceptional job.
Doug, you must just ask yourself who sponsors the goats of football. Do you understand? So
Nike.
Adidas.
the goat. Look, the goat of golf was Tiger with Nike. The goat of basketball was Jordan with Nike. Do you understand? The goat of tennis was Federer with Nike. It's only in football that the goat went to Adidas.
Yeah. You can't have double standards. Cristiano Ronaldo, you need to say you can't.
No, no.
Lebza.
It's
Evan
if
Roy.
we have if
Evan Roy.
the coach was Nike, then it was Ronaldinho. It stopped there. You
Evan
see,
Roy.
Hey,
Evan
it
don't
Roy.
get
stopped
on
there.
me there. I don't want to be in the middle. Hey, fight your battles. Hey,
All right.
Lebza,
Yeah.
one thing that I'm asking is a request. When they ask you, so this team that you are actually wearing, Kaiser, I know they're gonna struggle with the name a bit, and
Mm-hmm.
then you must teach them how to say Amakosi.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. I'm a coach for life, and I'll make them do this. I'm a
Yeah.
coach for life. So look, PSL preview. Obviously Tuesday it's happening. Pirates are taking on cheaper since Pirates are well rested since they're not playing in Africa. You know, they had to call their big brother Sundowns to beat down the guy who beat them. You know, and Big Brother Sundown said Vele will beat them for you. So, anyway, so Pirates will play cheaper. Hopefully, they maintain their league form because a winning Pirates puts pressure on Sundowns and Kaiser Chiefs. So it just makes it for an interesting league. Chiefs versus Orbit, they're busy checking if they should also postpone it because Chiefs obviously played on the weekend and they're traveling back and obviously maybe jet lag or something like that. So let's see what happens. Sundowns one is definitely postponed because obviously they were also beating, even though they were playing at home, but they were beating the abusers of Pirates. And also, the guy that abused Pirates that did this, the guy that did this on the posters, he was actually he was on the stands because I think he got a red card or something. So sometimes we're lucky because maybe that bully was the one that beat Pirates. We don't know. But anyway, let's go to our prop and flop of the week. Right. Prop of the week. Roy, let's start with you. I've got three options for you.
Okay.
Sundowns winning where Pirates failed. Bah. Or is it Forest clean sheet at Anfield? Or is it Barcelona smashing Bilbao 4-0?
Yeah. This is very difficult for many reasons, ne, because everything that is there basically is a prop for me. If I have to give it to one team, ne, I'll give it to Sundowns.
Mm.
They're holding the flag, the Mzansi flag, really, really high. I give it to the homeboys.
No, nice one, Tebow.
You know what? Nah, I want to give it to Barcelona for. I want to give it to Barcelona for welcoming Bilbao to the revamped stadium. Nah. But
Mm,
I think Nottingham Forest, they deserve it because they went to the cup, scored 3 goals, and managed to keep a clean sheet. That's
no,
almost unheard
definitely.
of. That's
Yeah.
almost unheard of.
No, you know what? As much as I also support Barcelona, but I do think what Forest did was the smash and grab of note. Like basically,
Big try.
they went to the Louvre and stole the big diamond without getting caught and walked out the front door. You know,
Big try.
so that a Barca smashing Bilbao, you expect Barca to win. Obviously it was just a clean one. Sundowns also, you expect when they've rested, they definitely can beat any team, but nobody, nobody, even Drake, who bets a lot on football, thought Forest was going to do 3-0 at Anfield. Yes, maybe someone might have said they might win, but they're talking 2-1. Do you understand? 2-1, 3-2, meaning Liverpool also score some. So it's a match where 1-1,
Yeah.
but just three, no unanswered. I'd also choose a Forest for that one. You tell us, to the guys that are watching, our viewers, tell us on the chat, man, which one do you think is a prop? Do you think Sundowns, Forest, or Barcelona? Or maybe there's one we're missing out, because maybe we could say Elche was also a prop. Boom. Flop of the week. Flop of the week, Timo. Let's start with you, dog. Is it EPL favorites City losing? After everybody got their hopes high, every City fan took out their t-shirt and started washing them already. Or is it Thomas Frank unraveling? Also a flop of the week because like he's busy digging his own grave and it's just getting deeper and deeper. Or is it Real Madrid robbery escape from Elche?
Yeah, I'm definitely going with this Real Madrid performance. I think when the international break came along, it actually looked like it was a breather that Xabi Alonso desperately needed. But now that we're back and it's back to the nitty gritty, the man still looks out of sorts, man. The team looked terrible. They looked out of place. They looked like they didn't know what they were supposed to do. Definitely, my flop of the week is the team led by Xavier Alonso.
This makes me so happy. My favorite episode to date. Roy.
On my side, I'm giving it to the EPL favorite City,
Mm-hmm.
losing to Newcastle. They were the favorites in that match to win.
Mm,
Even if you looked on betting sites, I mean, like they had the upper hand.
mm.
They have the quality of players, but and they just didn't switch on, and nothing was basically happening for them. So yeah, I give it to City.
Yeah,
A chance, a
actually,
chance, a chance,
yeah,
a chance. Can I ask you? Do you remember me saying on Friday that Newcastle are gonna beat City?
you
Yeah.
did, and yeah, just like I said, Elche, we're gonna steal points. Okay.
Guys. I think it's time. I think it's time, man. I think we start betting, man. It's time we
Yeah.
start betting, chance. Man.
No, wait. To our viewers, we do not recommend betting. We are not betting financial advisors, so don't take any of our
Oh.
advice. These are personally just personal jabs between one another. Okay, cool. But if you want to share
What?
your betting,
Man,
your
so what's
betting
with the
codes,
disclaimers?
share.
Let them make bad decisions on their own, man.
These are Tibo's individual comments that are not sanctioned by the show. All right. So look, in closing, we've traveled the world literally because I'm in London. I'm here to check out that Chelsea versus the Barcelona match from outside the stadium because I can't afford the match. But hey, we're in London nonetheless. So we've seen the drama from all over the world in Spain, in the EPL, in
Yep.
Italy, even in the Saudi Arabia League, we've seen drama, and Messi is still breaking records in America. So from all over the world, we've seen the
Hey,
drama, and now we rest because I don't know if any of us are gonna be watching Manchester United versus Everton. I'm sure Shahid because
hey,
he wants to see Jack Grealish's
Lebza,
calf muscles. So I'm sure
Lebza,
Shahid will watch. Yeah.
Lebza. We didn't even talk about the Saudi League, but I know that scissor kick goal from Cristiano Ronaldo is haunting you, bruh.
No.
It's coming out your paws, bruh. You
Mm-mm.
even think about it even when we don't even mention it, bruh.
No. It was the first time I saw it when the link that you sent, and I was like, "This is normal. These are goals he scored even in tough matches like Champions League finals."
Juventus.
So it wasn't something new, man. And if you're only practicing scissor kicks, not how to dribble people, obviously gotta hit them, gotta hit
Uh,
them. You know.
just to add on that, ne? Have you guys seen the stats now based on like scissor kicks? I think Cristiano, I think he sits at 1.35 ne, meters up
Mm,
high in the air, and then
mm.
McTominay actually got a higher scissor kick. Did you guys see that?
You are going to hurt the Real Madrid fans because that's all they complain about. He jumps higher. He jumps higher. His scissor kick is the highest in the world. Do you
It's
know
no
when he does
longer.
the Sue, he jumps like a basketball player. Like Cristiano
Van
Ronaldo
Roy,
fans have found
Yeah,
Van
bro.
other
Roy,
things.
Van Roy. That take that you just gave us now, what does that have to do with anything? This is why Liverpool are
Nothing.
losing. This
Nothing.
is why
It just
Liverpool
hurts
are
you, man.
losing.
It hurts you. I'm in pain,
This
so I
is
want
why
you to be
Liverpool
in
are
pain.
losing.
Mm. Well, you know what? I was gonna say until we talk again on Friday, because nobody's gonna be watching Man United versus Jack Grealish's calf muscles. So good luck to whoever wins that match. Tibo.
Yeah, these fixtures are defining the season as we speak. It's been a great spectacle, and we will be there on Friday to review the upcoming Champions League and Europa League games coming. Yeah, sure. Tibulava Ultra featuring the Mood Engineer featuring Van Roy. How are you?
Yeah, yeah. Sharp. Yeah, and we'll see. The data never lies. I'll see you guys on the next one.
Oh yeah, guys.
This is
This
Let's
is Let's
Argue.
Argue. Good
Good night,
night,
Africa.
Africa. Now let me go speak some English. Let me go. I'll go speak some English to my Uber driver.